In the last 24 hours, Israel has invaded Lebanon in what they say is a limited, localized and targeted raid. Netanyahu has spoken directly to the people of Iran, a state that has backed the terrorist entities that have done the most damage to Israel, including Hezbollah, to try and turn the Iranian people away from their leadership and issue a warning too that Israel can reach Iran militarily. In the last hour and a half or so, the White House has said that it is aware now of a potential imminent ballistic missile attack on Israel from Iran. Could this now herald the bloody and dangerous direct conflict between Israel and Iran that has been threatened for many years? Let's turn first to that information that emanated from Washington. Simon Marks is LBC's US correspondent. Thanks for being there for us, Simon. What more does the US seem to know about what is apparently imminent?
Well, it's just worth making the point, Tom, that it is pretty extraordinary that the White House put this into the public domain. A senior White House official telling multiple news organizations, and this is the quote, "The United States has indications that Iran is preparing to imminently launch a ballistic missile attack against Israel. We are actively supporting defensive preparations to defend Israel against this attack. A direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran, and the US is prepared to do whatever it can to help intercept anything Iran directs its way, to help Israel intercept anything Iran directs its way." Now, it's pretty unprecedented for the United States essentially to issue that public revelation of what would traditionally be information that was held very closely within the US government. It's partly, of course, designed to warn any American citizens in the region of the dangers that they may be facing in the hours ahead. And it certainly indicates, and we're hearing this as well from US officials, that they believe some kind of military strike by Iran is likely to take place within the next few hours. This does not appear to be theoretical about stuff that might happen later in the week. They think this is genuinely imminent. The Pentagon has been, just over the last few days, racing additional military personnel and facilities and resources to the region. Thousands of troops that were due to rotate out of the Middle East have been told that they're staying put while their replacements also head to the region. And according to a Pentagon spokesman speaking on Friday here, the United States is increasing the readiness not only of additional US forces to deploy, but the US maintains robust and integrated air defense capabilities across the Middle East. And those include a whole array of fighter jets, including F-16s and F-15s, fighter aircraft, and the personnel to run them. So the United States definitely preparing, Tom, for not just Iranian reprisals for the killing of Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah leader in Beirut, by the Israelis a few days ago, but potentially for this to spiral in a fairly dramatic direction.
As you say, there are practical arrangements that the US government is undertaking, and I guess would be there on standby anyway in the event of an escalation of the conflict to involve Iran attacking Israel directly, which is something we have actually seen before this year. But Simon, just on the manner in which this has been put out into the public domain, as you say, pretty extraordinary, and I suspect is going to need someone very official, possibly the president himself, to come on and say something.
Yeah, I think there's no question that there will be pressure on the White House to go beyond this statement that has been released by an unnamed senior White House official. And remember, it's a very big day here, because tonight it's the only vice presidential debate of this election cycle between Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota and Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. You can be sure that suddenly foreign policy is going to be playing a bigger role in that debate. But there's also pressure on President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, now the Democratic Party's nominee, with regard to the Middle East, because, of course, Joe Biden has appeared over the last week or so to be almost neutered in terms of his ability to influence Israel's behavior. And one of the questions I think about this statement is, did the Americans clear it with the Israelis? Because the Americans say the Israelis certainly didn't clear the elimination of Hassan Nasrallah with them. So what does all of this tell us about the state of the relationship between Washington and Tel Aviv, even as the statement appears to indicate that when Joe Biden has said over the past many months that America's backing of Israel is ironclad, right now, with the possibility of Iranian ballistic missiles, at least one of them heading in Israel's direction, the Americans seem to suspect, ironclad actually really means something.